if the children are grown or she doesn't have children
Mhm.
and she's not married, what value does
Mhm.
she have in your opinion?
If the woman, when she's younger, if she established a foundation with her husband, that's why marriage is so important to us. You develop value with your husband through the time and the effort that you give to him. You serving him, he's going to see value in you. Where do you remember McPherson was saying that when a woman gets old and wrinkly, oh, now I can give discount. I don't have to take care of her as well anymore because her beauty is down. We see it as if a woman has given you her best years, she is more valuable, she is more golden to you because she's given you the best of her. If you have a woman who is coming at the end of her maybe fertility, at the end of her beauty, and she's expecting that you're going to treat her like the woman that came to you in her early 20s, it's not going to happen. So what value does she have? It depends on what type of foundation she built when she was younger. Did she give herself to a family? Did she give herself to her husband? If she was barren, that's a whole different issue. And if the children are grown, well, we don't separate in our families. Even if the children are grown, many times the daughters stay in the house. So we there is no loss of value or need of a woman for us. But I know in Western world, children leave the home. So I can't speak on American families.
I think this I don't need no man thing is it's a layer of truth that hides behind lies, especially in the manosphere. Because you'll have a group of women that will push back against women in videos that are saying that they don't need a man. And they'll be like, yeah, we do need a man. We want a man. But the question becomes if let's just hear me out. If women, let's talking about the manosphere, if women on the manosphere panels are given the blueprint to marriage, like there's a lot of married guys that come on this panel and tell them what men want from them day in and day out. But these women remain unmarried a year later. Does that prove that they're unwilling or incapable of applying what they learn? Right.
Yeah, I think you have a point. If you're making yourself a part of networks where you're seeking information and you're looking for a different outcome from what you have been receiving, and if you actually find the conversation and um, the feedback that you're getting, you find it of value, you got to ask yourself, are you actually taking heed and putting that to use? Or are you just listening for entertainment value? Because I think a lot of people, we can have these passionate conversations, um, but you have to look and listen to people that have the outcomes that you want. And we've had so many panels on outcomes and listening to feedback from people based on, what lifestyle they're living. Do you find their opinion of value versus another person who doesn't have the outcome what you want? But I mean, if a millionaire is telling you how to get rich, are you not going to listen?
That's all I'm saying. Because I think most of us, especially the married guys that come into space, I'm not talking about the guys that just come in here and beat up on women. I'm talking about the men that come in here and challenge the women that say there's a problem with men. There's a problem with what we have to choose from. And we sit here and give them every avenue of approach to a workaround to get around that and position themselves so they can be around the man that would marry them and that's more desirable. And they still can't figure out out of months of years of being participants in the manosphere where we literally give out all the codes and cheat codes and blueprints and they still can't get married. Is it safe to say that these women don't need a man? They not verbally saying it, but their actions are displaying that. I don't need a
No,
man.
I think some people, what they do is they'll listen to you, and if they don't want you in particular or they don't desire you in particular, then sometimes people don't put a lot of weight into what people say.
Yeah.
When they don't realize that a lot of times y'all are speaking, or you may be speaking in general terms as for all men, they go, well, you don't speak for all men, so you can't tell me anything. So I think a lot of people kind of discredit certain points from men and women if they don't protect. And we've had this conversation about the messenger, the whole messenger conversation of, do you listen to the person if you don't necessarily align with them, even if they do have the outcomes that you desire?
So what does it take for women to look at me or any man in the manosphere or any man that's trying to bring the solution and tell them how they can get it? I know it was a man who had millions of subscribers and he still wasn't even able. Rest in peace to us all. What is it going to take?
It's some people you can't help. Okay. So coming from the fitness industry, there's so many people. I can give you hundreds of DMs over the years of people saying, hey, Case, how do you do it? First of all, before I had kids, how do you stay in shape? Then after gaining 62 pounds with kids, how did you lose your weight? I'm not going to charge you. You're a friend or somebody I know. I'll give you the basic foundation for what you can do. Cause I don't sell meal plans and I don't do that. So I'll give you the cheat code. I'll give it to you. Do you think they ever implement it? No, because sometimes to do the work is too hard. People don't want to do the work. They want the outcomes, but they don't want to they don't want to make the changes necessary to get the outcomes they want. So it's easy to just keep asking the question. It's easy to just repetitively go to person after person after person, complain about the situation you're in, complain about, oh, there's so much hormones in the food now, and I can't lose weight, or there is so much. You find every excuse to stay in the rut you're in, but there is a way to get out of it, whether it's going to the doctor, getting blood work done, changing your diet, getting a personal trainer. There's so many things you can do, but you choose to keep asking people, and it's people telling you 50 different ways to do it, and you won't do it because it's uncomfortable.
You said that. I'm glad you said
It's
that because
uncomfortable.
people keep saying that there's no available bachelors. There's no men out there. They're in jail. They're either gay. So I'm glad you went on the record to say that, because I see a lot of men that can be a husband, and the women don't want them. And I don't know if it's whether they don't see them, or I don't know what it is. You might have it right. They might just don't want to do the work. They may just be lazy. But if they're coming on here or any space that's have men that's married to have the proven results, and they're telling them all you got to do is this, and that, and they still not doing it, it just tells me that they don't want. I don't want to say that. I don't want to give them a pass by saying they're lazy. I just think they intentionally don't need a man. I just think they don't want or need a man. They're in a position in their life to where they once they get comfortable where they can pay their bills, the sense of urgency goes away. And they're like, you know what? Fuck it. I can do this all day. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I was and I completely agree with you, Bruce. I think they get to the point where they actually don't care to desire it.